Hello guys, this is me Suryadev Singh. I'm a student at the Masters of Computer Science student at the University of Memphis. Today I'm presenting about the phishing. So, talking about phishing, it's actually a form of cyber attack basically. So, in this, like the attackers present themselves as a legitimate individuals or entities or companies and send emails or phone calls to the victims itself, and they ask for their credentials, login credentials, credit card information, and in which the victims get manipulated and give it, and they get victimized actually, and the attackers can exploit those data to make money out of it or sell those data to dark webs and all that stuff. So basically what happens when phishing is done, so there are different kinds of there are different methods from which the phishing can be done. So basically the most common is email and phone calls basically, and there are fake websites actually, where users go there, and when they put in their information, the attackers get the information and do whatever they want to do and sell us information, or basically take out the money from the bank information and all that stuff, and credit card, use the credit card, the social engineering concept. So the main point of phishing is the victims are tricked into clicking malicious links, downloading malware, or provide confidential information. That's what I talked about. So basically it is done like this. So when we talk about the real world examples of phishing, so in what happened in 2017 was, so the attackers actually disguised themselves as Google Docs invitations. The emails were sent to a lot of people, and they granted the permission for a malicious app, and that allowed the app to get all the information from the computer itself and send it back to the attackers, that which the attackers actually exploited for getting monetary benefit. So there's another example called target data breach. This was phishing for the third party vendor of a target company. So in which there are a lot of about 40 million credit card information were stolen. So this is the way phishing is done. So what are the motivation behind the phishing? The main motivation is financial gain, is stealing data from the victims, and like credit card information and all that stuff, and bank details and all that stuff, and taking out the money. Or also the what they do is they steal your data and they sell it to somebody else, so that they get make money out of it. So basically the main motivation is financial gain. So the another thing is identity theft and personal data exploitation. That's what they do. Like some of them may feel like if they pull out this thing, they are very much like A1 and all that stuff. So basically they do identity theft and personal data exploitation. And another thing is corporate espionage and state-sponsored attacks. That's not a big deal. So there are a lot of variations in phishing. So there's something called spear phishing. So what they do in spear phishing is they target specific individuals, like this person is more prone to this kind of attack. So like of course student in University of Memphis getting spam mails from like spam mails from some people pretending to be the University of Memphis website, or making a spam mail having at the rate Memphis something, so they can use to target the University of Memphis students. So there's something called whaling. So these kind of attacks are mostly done for the executives level people, and they're phishing done through the voice calls that we normally get by saying that this is the Google, and they want your information so that they can stop some fraud and all that stuff. So actually they are the one that are making the fraud. So there is smishing, that's called SMS based phishing, that we normally get from the UPS website and all that stuff. Is also very common. And there's something called clone phishing. That's what it's does is it replicates emails, like the uh, legal bodies, or like we sometimes we as a student we get mails it's pretending to be the University of Memphis, and there's some links, malicious link that we click, and it may let us download it may download malicious app or malware and steal our information and all that stuff. So there are a lot of variations in phishing. So how can we detect phishing? So what we can do is, the first most important thing is the sender address and domain authenticity. So where the email has come from. So there always be a tricky point behind it. So if you look at the example, there's something called support at the paper. It's not one. It's actually not L. It's one. So it looks suspicious, right? So it's probably a spam. It's not probably a spam. It's definitely a spam. So instead of this support at the paper.com, is support at the paper1.com. So we have to look for the address and the domain authenticity. So another thing is identify grammatical errors and urgency tags. So what they basically do is they uh, they they try to they try to make it like it's very urgent topic and you have to act fast. So that's their main concept, like your credit card has been stolen, you have to give us the information so that we can stop the like fraud and all that stuff, but they are the one actually doing it. So it's basically triggers our mental thinking priority and we just tend to give the information. So there are grammatical errors in the mail itself, and there's something called urgency tactics. So your account will be closing 24 hours. Look at here, it's not 24 hours, it's 24 hours. So there are a lot of things. Click here to save it. So they look, this is very urgent. It's like it's poor grammar is suspicious, but also there is something called urgency tactics. So there are some certain links. So when we get a spam and when we hover through the link, and it will show us the real page that's gonna pop up after clicking that link, not the one that suppose there's some www.facebook.com. So when you hover through the www.facebook.com, it won't actually open Facebook, it will actually open something else. So that is one way to detect the phishing. And there are a lot of security extensions that we can install in our browser that will detect phishing and email filters as well. So let's take for an example how can we see it. So look at this. So here you email notification, this notification there's error. So non-uniform email address. So it says IT department, but anaisa.sp@career is not University of Memphis. So look at that, stb.bitly.com. So the address website is already hidden, like he has hid the website, so your address is obscured. So an email has been checked for bias by antivirus software www.avast.com/antivirus. It's a fake antivirus test. So yeah, so it's this is the way we can find it. The another example we can see here. So that's Apple ID something rcd.uk. So it's an invalid email address, basically it's a very invalid email address. So there's attachment, I don't know what attachment is, like it's probably fake. So also you can see the purchase iTunes gift incorrect spelling, you can see there. So your service has been accepted due to payment after the invoice was issued. It's a very poor grammar, like it's not correct. So regards Apple, it's invalid signature. No one does that. So yeah, we have to look for the traces, like basically there's something wrong with it. It's not totally like legit, there's something wrong with it. So yeah, we have to look for the spam. So the question comes to how can we prevent from phishing. So what we can do is we can educate people, like we as a student we got education from the international center itself regarding the prevention of phishing and how we can detect it. So there's the best thing is what we can do is we can educate other users to see the ways in what phishing is done. So there's something called dual factor authentication, and there's multiple factor authentication. So for also for our credit card information and all that stuff, there's something called factor authentication. And so we should not click any unverified links and attachments. We should not ever click that, and we should not download it on our laptop. It's gonna be a malware most probably. We should not do that. And also we have to use some security softwares and email filters. Emails, there are a lot of email filters right now, so you can use any of them, and there are a lot of security software that prevents us from spam and all that. And even now there are credit card fraud detection system, there are a lot of them, so you can use any of them. This way we can prevent it. And this all topic for today. So that's, I think it's crossed 10 minutes deadline, but it's okay, no worries. I hope I did good. Thank you for your time, and I hope to see you guys.